What's up, fam? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Today, I'm going to tell you about the history behind the term boomer sooner, and I'm also going to tell you exactly where I think the weakness is on Georgia's offensive line, and all of that's coming up after the bumper. If you're new to my channel or this is your first time here, consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Alright, bumper.
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
So basically it's this simple. At right tackle, the Georgia Bulldogs start a freshman in Andrew Thomas. At right guard, the Georgia Bulldogs start a sophomore in Ben Cleveland. And since Cleveland is the backup for Thomas at right tackle, redshirt freshman Solomon Kinley is the backup at right guard. You get what I'm saying when I keep saying right here? Now understand, Thomas was an ESPN All-American on the freshman team. He was also a USA Today Sports All-American on the freshman team. But he's also a freshman. He's new, playing right tackle in a run-oriented pro-style offense. Now you know who Ben Cleveland is? Because he was not heard of until November. Now at 6'6", 340, Ben Cleveland has all the tools. And nobody underestimates what a redshirt year can do for any recruit. He was a 5-star prospect according to 24/7 and a U.S. Army All-American.
But he ain't played nobody, fam.
We can count the team that mollywopped Georgia 40-17. We can do that. If you want to count the Rambling Wreck, who runs this kind of ridiculous flexbone, wishbone offense that nobody sees, sure, we can count that. You can count Kentucky if you want to. But don't underestimate the man on the other side of the line. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Obo is playing on the left side of the defensive line, which means he's on the right side of their offensive line, which means you got the second team All-American, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, running pass rush at these dudes, at these youngins, at these children on the right side of the line. Now I understand you're going to earn pass rush against Georgia. You understand what I mean? You're going to have to earn 3rd and 7. You got to earn 3rd and 8. And that means,
and I'm talking to you here, Mike,
putting Obo's hand on the ground and letting him go after these freshmen and these sophomores and letting him go after this freshman and this sophomore on the right side of the line. Look, let Obo be Obo. Let Obo go earn his 1st round draft pick in this game against these 5-star, 4-star prospects. Let Obo go to work. This is where we can win the game, on the right side of the line. And if he has help penetrating that offensive line with Amani Bledsoe, Kenneth Mann, Neville Gallimore, Devontae Lampkin, you know, this awesome defensive line that we have, then Obo's just gonna num eat, you know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna have Caleb Kelly, Kenneth Murray, and Emmanuel Bill cleaning up the mess, keeping them clean, playing hat-on-a-hat football, which is exactly what Georgia wants to do. So all you gotta do is hit your fits, wrap them up, put them on the floor. I expect to see a lot of 2-man under and cover 1 in this game. I expect to see man coverage on the outside. I expect Jake Fromm to have to beat us by hitting those wide receivers in stride, because I don't think he can do it. But if it becomes that kind of game, we winning. Why are we winning? Because we got this dude named Baker Mayfield on the other side of the football, fam. On the other side of the ball, Georgia's defensive line is special. There's no getting around that. They have outstanding footwork. They have great hands. But you know what? We special on the offensive line too. You know what I'm saying? We got all Big 12 players up front. Not to mention that 1st team All-American on the left side. The unanimous All-American pick. You know, God of the sky. As in, mess with me and I'm going to make you read these Nikes. Hey, Roquan Smith, that's a message to you. Go after Zeus. I dare you. I can't wait to see Zeus roll up Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith's draft stock about to plummet, fam. It's about to go right down with that lightning bolt. Just pow! Right there. Roquan, come on the blitz. 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 Come on, fam. Come on. Just beat him. Just try to beat him. You know, you got 1 speed, and it's a speed exactly for Zeus to use those hands and roll you up, fam. He's just gonna roll you up. So that's what I expect to see. I expect to see Obo have a field day on the right side of the line with these youngins. I expect the linebackers to stay clean and make plays. And I expect Roquan to try to get around the edge on Zeus and Zeus to roll him up. Roll him up to the tune of Boomer Sooner. Speaking of Boomer Sooner, let me tell you all about that. But the first thing you need to know is boomers are folks who campaigned for the land run of 1889. They were the folks that wanted to go into Oklahoma and stake it and no longer make it Indian territory, which is what it was allotted for. That's an Oklahoma joke allotted, and make it open to the public, furthering some bad political nonsense that I don't want to get into because this is an OU related, college football related sports channel where we have a good time. So when the land run of 1889 became a thing, some folks didn't want to wait until the official day to run into what we now know as Oklahoma. They are the folks who did not wait for the government to tell them that they could take what they want, so they went soon, hence the term Sooners, which is why the term Sooners is also synonymous with the term land thief. But one of the reasons I love the term Boomer Sooner is not just because Billy Sims says it more than I say rat. It's because Boomer and Sooner combines those two folks who are Oklahoma, who are what make Oklahoma. We are Oklahoma, and I love anything that tries to bring us together from all races, backgrounds, creeds, and yes, even politics. But what you might not know is that the lyrics for the song Boomer Sooner were written by a fella named Arthur Alden in 1905. He was a student at OU. But as most things synonymous with Oklahoma, he stole the melody from Yale University, whose fight song was Hula Hula. But because you can't trust Yankees to not steal anything at all, they stole it too. Yale University stole it from black singer-songwriters Robert Allen Cole and Billy Johnson, who wrote and copyrighted a song called La Hula Bula with the same melody as Boomer Sooner. Among other achievements, Cole and Johnson also were the first black tandem to produce, direct, manage, write, and put on an all-black Broadway stage play in the late 19th century. But since Alden wrote the song in 1905, Boomer Sooner has not only become the fight song at the University of Oklahoma, it has become a character unto itself around the country. As I've said before, you can hear Heisman winner Billy Sims chanting it at every Heisman ceremony, especially since OU Heisman winners Jason White, Sam Bradford, and Baker Mayfield have won the Heisman Trophy. And if you are a WWE fan like me, you remember back when the WWE was in fact the WWF, where its play-by-play announcer was none other than Jim Ross.
By God!
Who wore a black cowboy hat with particular panache and is one of our most visible ambassadors to the OU football brand. But my favorite Boomer Sooner related story comes October 15th, 1983, which is 1 year before my parents got married and 4 years before they had damn kids. On that day, the Sooners trailed the Oklahoma State Cowboys 20-3 within the first 10 minutes of the game. As the story goes, OU band director Gene Threlkill was being ejected from Lewis Field because he didn't have a field pass, though he was the band director. And who wants to kick off a band director? Like, seriously, where are we at when we kicking out band directors? But as he was escorted out of Lewis Field, he ordered the pride of Oklahoma to play Boomer Sooner. And not only to play Boomer Sooner, but to play Boomer Sooner until the Sooners were ahead. And because this is the Barry Switzer era and they run wishbone, and the wishbone offense is not one you want to run from behind, the pride of Oklahoma was estimated to have played that song at least 300 times. Until with 1:17 left to go in the fourth quarter, the Sooners forced a Cowboy fumble and then kicked the field goal to win the game 21-20. Barry Switzer called that Bedlam game the day the Pride won. And to commemorate the Pride of Oklahoma's efforts, he gave them the game ball, which I think is kind of awesome because it acknowledged for the first time in a real way just how big of the pageantry and the momentum of the game the band can play. And one of the reasons that we all love the Pride of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, 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 Boomer Sooner. I'm a Sooner born, I'm a Sooner bred, and when I die, I'm a Sooner dead. Need to chop and screw this. Boom, 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 Boomer Sooner, boom, Boomer Sooner, I'm a Sooner born. Sooner bred, when I die, Sooner bred. Seriously, we gotta work on that, cause Rah, Oklahoma, I mean it's in the fight song, but I don't really like Rah, Oklahoma, who says Rah, except dinosaurs.
Austin Chadwick hanging out with you on a Wednesday, getting you through this morning, and I promised I'd bring him on here. We're gonna have a little fun. We'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend, RJ Young. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother? I'm on a step now. What are you doing?
I keep you know what makes me laugh every day? If I can get an RJ Young video on YouTube, it brings some levity to some things, a good chuckle. You can follow RJ_Young on Twitter. Then you can check out his YouTube channel. You got some great stuff going on, but the most fun I think I've had, and for any OU fans that are on Twitter, if you follow RJ, he's ruffled the fur, if you will. So tell me what's going on in the doldrums of a little trash talking between some Georgia fans and OU fans. A lot of these Georgia people, they didn't realize how historic OU was when it comes to football. It's almost like they've been living in a bubble for the last 100 years.
Oh, man, I've been having a good time. I hope everybody else has been having a good time. We talk a lot of trash, but we're keeping it clean. So come through. But look, how many Rose Bowls have they been to? What was it, 45? The last time they were in a Rose Bowl? Also, tell me about that Belk Bowl win, Georgia fans. Big deal? The tradition building down there? Huh? How about that Liberty Bowl win? Huh?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a Liberty Bowl win now. I mean, University of Tulsa, come on now.
Look.
But if we're comparing Georgia to the University of Tulsa, they're on a different level.
There you go. Right? But no, it's been fun. So, look, I hit them with a run pass option with a title on a YouTube video talking about how OU was going to get decimated by Georgia. They bid on the fake, came through, gave them 15 seconds of, little play action, and all of a sudden comments just blew up. You don't know what you're talking about. OU homer. Yeah, whatever. You bid on a headline. Fine, whatever. No, but I like Georgia. I like them a lot. I just don't like them in this game.
Yeah, at some point, you always think to yourself, because they've done it, and as even when Mark Richt had some teams with some Matthew Stafford team, I mean, he just literally had some teams that were talent-wise good enough to win it all. Georgia is eventually going to Georgia, and they really haven't this year. We thought they did maybe against Auburn, but then they bounced back, and to their credit, beat Auburn in the SEC championship, and Auburn hurt all their running backs. And so from that standpoint, though, I like the team mainly because, RJ, when you look at their defense, Roquan Smith, he's a beast. I mean, this guy's as good as it gets. However, they got a lot of older guys at different positions. Their safeties is a really good player, and then their secondary overall. But their front sevens, they're older. But what I couldn't believe I was seeing, it was almost like a no-name defense, because outside of Roquan Smith, there were no all-SEC guys on this entire defense. And so from that standpoint, I go back to, hey, it's going to be probably the best defense OU plays all year. Ohio State was pretty good, but this is a good one as well. But they're going to be playing an offense. They haven't seen anything like this, dude. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Well, here's the thing, though. We all know that Roquan Smith is the Butkus Award winner. We all know that. I heard you earlier. You were comparing him kind of like the Rocky Chalmers or Curtis Lawson. I say he's a safety playing linebacker.
Yeah.
I say the boy is fast, man. He's so fast.
Yeah, he can run.
And he can wrap you up, and he'll put you on the ground. But look, we got our unanimous All-American on his side of the field. All right? Get past Orlando Brown if you want to. I can't wait to see that matchup. Come blitzing, son. That's why you want Orlando over there at left tackle. But that defensive line they got now, I don't hear enough talk about that. The way those boys stunt and twist, their feet are just beautiful. I love watching their feet. Quick hands, they stay low. Look, that's where the battle is. All right? We know that we can run the ball. We know that we can throw the ball. But if those boys get to stunt and twist up front and confuse our offensive line, then you get a little worried. All right? I know that they're good on the back end. I know they play man coverage on the back end, too.
Yep.
They want to play that little matchup zone. So look for your screens, look for your RPOs, and get the ball out of Baker's hands, for crying out loud, because that defensive line, they're some monsters, all right? They're going to get some NFL pub here in this Rose Bowl game.
Let me ask you something that might blow up the entire argument for Georgia. Because I would argue, as far as the talent goes, Auburn was better defensively than Georgia is. Auburn's defense last year. The front seven, dude, they had NFL guys everywhere. They maybe didn't have a guy quite as talented as Roquan at the linebacker level. But when people say, well, OU just doesn't see this kind of thing, that's a bunch of BS. They see this stuff all the time. They saw it in the Sugar Bowl last year, and they did just fine. They saw it in Columbus. They did just fine. I mean, if you don't think Lincoln Riley has gotten an opportunity to dissect a few things, take away. One thing Georgia does, they pursue like crazy. And they over-pursue sometimes. So look for a little bit of misdirection here and there, some of the different things you can do. And, RJ, when you put things together and you look at how OU is going to be able to take this, we always talk about strength on strength, OU's offense, Georgia's defense. But then it's the other matchup that really decides the game. And what's interesting, and I've heard it to nauseam, Georgia's got 3 running backs OU hadn't faced all year. But at the same time, OU's playing as well defensively as they played all year. And these guys that are younger, they've gotten older this year. Kenneth Murray is no longer a freshman. He's got 13 games under his belt. He knows what the hell he's doing. And so from that standpoint, I think OU takes on that challenge. They run the odd front. The defensive line's playing very, very well. If they can stop the run and make this Fromm kid try to beat them, they're in a pretty good situation.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I like this game the more I look at it because it's hat-on-a-hat football. You know, it ain't playing in the Big 12 where we got to look for schemes and misdirections and you got speed at every position. No, they're going to try to line up, blow you off the ball, and get 5 yards to carry from those three backs who are stellar, amazing running backs they got there. But look, make Jake Fromm throw the football. Look, I'm going to say it. You got to earn pass rush against Georgia. You don't get to come out there and put your pass rush specialist on the floor. You know, you got to get them in 37, 38, and then you get to let the dogs go. But Kenneth Murray, Caleb Kelly, Emmanuel Beal, keep those boys clean and they'll tackle for you. It's that simple. You know, so I hear you about the odd fronts, but nah, get that out of here, man. I don't want that. Put 4 men on the line of scrimmage, put Obo's hand on the floor, and let's go to work. Let's go to work.
I love
Why are we over here talking about an odd front? I hate it. You run an odd front against a pro-style defense, fire yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
You're turning your whistle.
At RJ_Young is his Twitter handle. You can follow him on YouTube. Just search RJ Young. He's got great stuff going on every day. Here's the quote. You were replying to one guy named Papa Patasol. And he was basically saying, RJ, does UGA, does Georgia, do they not stand a chance? And your quote was, everybody stands a chance. I'm saying Georgia is a guy in a windbreaker in a monsoon. He's going to get wet. So give me some more of some of the different things going back and forth. Because, listen, Georgia fans they're the type of SEC fans that it's prototypical. Arkansas's got a few of them. Alabama, of course, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, they've all got them. And it's what makes really their program so great. So how much fun has it been when you're able to go back and forth with some of these fans and talk a little trash and really do it with some substance of getting into the schematics of a game and personnel and all that stuff? You've probably had more fun with this than anybody I've seen who's done it from OU.
Oh, heck yes. I mean, I even got into it with a guy who tried to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about with the English language, and I'm at Oklahoma State getting a Ph.D., but that was fun. The other thing was fun was I got to drop a Star Trek reference on a guy when he was talking about Team Speed. I was talking about, why are we talking about Team Speed when you guys are out here telling me about the Ramblin' Wreck and we're out here being the Star Trek Enterprise, all right, fam? Look, nobody gives a good darn about Georgia Tech and that triple option that they run down there. Why do people bring that up? Now, I'll say this. Every once in a while, I run into a class of Georgia fans who wants to talk football, right? And the one thing that they always want to tell me is that we don't play nobody, right? Because Big 12 would not. And I hear Ohio State, but why is TCU not getting any love anymore? Every time I bring TCU into an argument, they just clam up. Because I say team speed, I'll say top 10 defense, I'll say we played them twice, Molly whopped them twice. And here's the other thing. I don't care how many rushing yards you're going to get. I don't care how good the defense is. We're going to drop 45, and we're going to say, can you keep up?
If OU can get themselves in a situation where they got to force Georgia to score points, Georgia's in trouble. They're in trouble. We know this. We saw it against Alabama or Auburn when Auburn was able to get up on them. They don't play very well from behind. And from that standpoint, though, when you see this overall, RJ, and here's the funny part about OSU fans. I know a bunch of them who went to Athens a handful of years ago, about 10 years ago, I guess now. They play within the hedges, dude. It's the real deal.
Yeah, I know what they play in the hedges.
But the interesting part about it was, and this is why this is so much fun. This is why bowl games like this, and this is why college football playoff matchups like this are so much fun, because these two teams don't play each other a whole lot, if at all. And so from the standpoint of Georgia fans being educated a little bit, because they have to be about OU football, they're like, damn, how many – so you guys have more – you got more All-Americans, more Heismans, more national champions, more. And somebody made a great point. They said Baker Mayfield himself has one more conference championships than Georgia has in the last 45 years.
Yeah, I see. Also got more wins. Well, and the program has more wins against Alabama this decade than Georgia, and we ain't played them but once. All right?
It's
you know,
good
like
stuff.
look, the thing that people want to throw to me at Georgia is their number one recruiting class. And I get to tell them, look, that recruiting class doesn't play on January 1st. All right? And even if they did, we don't count stars. We count unanimous All-Americans.
There
How
you
many
go.
you got?
There you go.
You know, how many Heisman Trophy winners you have? Herschel Walker, all right. Now what? Anybody? Anybody? I hear cricket. You know, and this from a program where Mark Richt was doing good things. Did they win conference championships? No. Did they win bowls that matter? Probably not. But 10-win seasons? You can chalk Georgia up for that every year. And now they want to I hate it when they're getting too big for their britches when they got a head coach that we owned in the Sugar Bowl in their backyard. Team with the same caliber of players. With a quarterback, love you, Trevor, but you're not half the quarterback Baker Mayfield is. You know, different set of running backs. Different offensive coordinator with better schemes. I don't understand how they... Look, I'm getting worked up over here on Sedmil, so I need to... I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it objectively, and I'm looking at the schemes they run and how good they are at running them. But it's hubris, man. It's SEC hubris, which is to say, our athletes are better than your athletes, and we don't have to scheme for you. You have to scheme for us. Nah, man. That's where SEC teams lose me when they go to play Big 12 Big 12 teams.
Did you just drop Greek mythology terminology there with hubris? That's pretty good. I like it, buddy. Listen, at RJ_Young, you put up a daily video on YouTube, and it's fantastic. When is that dropping today? Later on?
6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m. tonight. You can check that out. RJ, we appreciate it, buddy. Always a friend of the sports animal. Thanks for hanging out with us. And get done with the rest of your workout. If I hear you right, I think I hear some weights clanging in the background. Am I right?
Yeah, everybody thinks that they're strong until somebody else walks into the weight room. You know this.
Yeah, you go like 5'4", don't you? 5'6", something like that.
Which means I got those strong levers to squat 400 and bench 350.
Good stuff, buddy. Have a good day, man.